Alrighty, how's everyone? So I hope you're doing well. I hope your life is managing this new reality that we're all living with. And I really missed seeing you all on Wednesday. It was like I realized how much I really enjoy Wednesday nights. So, as you can imagine, and this week for me has been just kind of feels like I got plucked out of reality and got put in a whole other reality, but it felt like my life still, so wasn't that different. But I've been spending the week training other faculty, and it's been really good. I love that I can serve. I love that I can give other instructors help, and you know what? I learned something in the process. So back to our class. I want to tell you what Wednesday night will look like for us. So we will meet virtually on Wednesday night in Zoom. And if you've never used Zoom, which I bet many of you have, but if you haven't, I'll show you in a minute the link that you can get in to connect with me, which will also, by the way, from here to the end of the semester, also be my office hours, so that anytime I have an office hour, I'll be in Zoom hanging out. So maybe that means I'll see you more. I don't know. I hope so. I hope I do. Okay, so what are we going to do? So today's Friday of our suspended week. We come back into regular classes next week, as far as I know. If I hear something different, I'll let you know. But my understanding, based on conversations I've had today with my boss and other people, is that we are back in class next week, but we're all online. So, of course, for us, that this was not that hard for me to do, but I'm going to tell you what we're going to do on Wednesday. So one thing is that our normal class time, of course, is 5:30. So I will be in Zoom probably around 5. So you can connect with me, and it might not be a bad idea for you to come in a little early if your schedule allows. So you can just make sure you're all set up, ready to go. And then here's my kind of my agenda. We'll spend from 5:30 to 6 just like collectively making sure we all know how Zoom works. Um, and I'll have a couple of little activities that we'll do for that. That should be pretty, hopefully fun. And then what we're going to do is what I had planned on doing this last Wednesday night before we were suspended is you remember my charge to you was to actually take the emoji search and add some something to it that indicated when you clicked on something, it did something, right? So I'm almost done with mine. So I'm going to show you how far I've gotten and then what I have left to do. But the idea is I want you to implement maybe a modal so that you can see mine. I'm going to end up adding a add to collection. My hope is that I actually also save it out to Firebase. So I'm integrating some of the things that we've learned in this last section. So also we'll talk about on Wednesday also, right? If you, and you know, here's my suggestion is to get as caught up as possible by Wednesday. So we can talk in more detail about this during our class. Okay. So what I've added, one thing is I've added right at our week 10, which by the way, so if you do the work that I'm about to show, at least my almost done version of it, it will count for week 10 and week 11 learned together. Because the idea, and I didn't say this, so let me say it now. The idea is that actually we're not going to extend this semester a week. We're just going to figure out how to do it within the time that we have left. So that's kind of my way of getting that done. So I will give you credit for both week 10 and week 11 by showing something. So to get credit for this, you have to show something. And there's a way in Zoom that you're going to be able to share screens. Again, that's why it's the earlier you get in there, I can show you how to do that. So here's the link, classroom office hours, right? My normal office hours, which I've listed, but this is the link that I will be in around 5 o'clock on this coming Wednesday. And when you click on this link, it's actually going to open up Zoom. It'll connect, and that this will be the way that if you have, and again, this is, it's better if you have some kind of closed, meaning I have something that's not picking up the ambient noise. But if you don't only have something that that is what we call an open mic, that works fine as well. The clearer the audio, the better the interaction. So when you come in, then you're what I'll do is first, like I said, we'll spend a little time just kind of getting acquainted with this interface, and then I'll show you my final product, and you can, and I'll walk you through my code, what I did, and then you will do the same, and that will be how you get, and then we'll talk about like Dev 1 and all that. So I'm going to leave this for now. All right, so let me show you what I've done so far. So on the emoji search, of course, you can still do the same searching idea, but now when you click on one, you see what's happening is we have the modal taking over most of the space, and then I ended up pulling off of the JSON file that keyword and then putting in there as well. So what I have left to do here is actually make this add to collection, or I need to add a cancel button, but then I'm going to have some kind of collection that shows up. So if you hit like 5 different emojis, they'll show up in a collection, and then maybe you give it an ability to save it as some kind of name. But so I want you to have implemented at least something that when you click on an emoji, it does something. Again, kind of simulating the idea of what we saw in the burger builder, where when he actually went to check out, or or something else that just responds to the user input with some of the things that we learned in section 8 and 9 and 10. So right, again, I'm going to take this now, implement the add collection. So, but at minimum, you want to respond somehow to a user clicking, because where we ended up with after week 9 was just the ability to see when you're scrolling, you're hovering over, but there was no functionality. Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we will do on Wednesday. I'll be there at 5:30. If you have any questions, please reach out. You can also come to my office hours on Monday or Tuesday if you want, just to chat about any of that. Or if you have code you want me to work on with you, that's cool as well. But this will most likely be the way we handle the rest of the semester. Okay. So just FYI. I know most of you, I think all of you have taken, maybe Pat is the only one who hasn't taken an online class with me. Maybe he has, though. So it shouldn't feel that dissimilar from taking an online class with me, except that we're going to use Zoom. And I'm actually going to be interested to hear your feedback, whether you think I should implement Zoom into my general online classes as well. Okay? Peace. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday.